What's up, guys? Welcome back to ManCave Collectibles, coming at you today with another figure review. Today we got one I am super excited about. We have got Rasputin and Genghis, two of the frogs from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon line. This is one that has literally just dropped. I think it first hit here in North Carolina, or at least that was the first place I saw it. So it was really cool for it to drop kind of in our neck of the woods. Versus West Coast. Typically I see the Neca stuff drop West Coast first and then it kind of makes its way east. And in this case, it kind of seemed like it started on the East Coast and is making its way west. So really happy to have these guys. Our friends over at Back in Time Collectibles, which is a local toy shop here that we get to see quite often in my toy hunt videos. The owner there, he actually was looking out for me and was able to pick me one up at a Target. So a lot of shout out, a lot of thanks to him for doing that. Let's jump right into this review. So here we go. We've got Rasputin and Genghis from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles cartoon. Now, there were 4 turtles. NECA's going to start off with these 2. Got our packaging, typical packaging for NECA cartoon line. Got kind of some cartoony images here that have been drawn out. Got that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles logo we all have come to love over the years, spinning around. Just got a little product image there. More product shots on the back of Genghis and Rasputin. The write-up here is the typical write-up about the turtles. NECA has decided not to go with a write-up specific to who is actually in the box, the way Super 7 did. Super 7's box are individualized. NECA has just kind of had this same write-up for all the different 2-packs. We also get to see some of the most recent 2-packs that have come out, as well as the Ultimate Foot Soldier being advertised here, which tells me that one is probably right around the corner for us. So be on the lookout for that one. Another product image on this side of the box. Let's go ahead and break these guys out of their packaging and see what we got. Okay, guys, so we got our frogs out of their packaging. So we got Rasputin here on the left side. He is the darker skin turtle. And then we have Genghis here on the right side. He is the kind of lighter skin turtle here with the purple shirt. So they each come with their own accessories. Let's go ahead, let's start off with Genghis. So the first thing we got was an additional head sculpt here for him. So there's a little bit of difference here. This is kind of more of a happy looking head sculpt, whereas what he kind of comes with out of packaging kind of gives a little more of a kind of a scared or like some, you know, something's going on. This just gives kind of more of that happy look, which is really kind of the head that Rasputin come out of package with. We'll take a look at Rasputin's other head sculpt as well. We'll see if it's maybe kind of the scared version. Now here's 2 accessories that they each come with. So they each come with a kind of a small version of themselves, a small frog. And then they each come with a Turtles communicator. So we've gotten this communicator multiple times before, but they went ahead and threw it in with these friends of the Turtles here. So each one got an identical sculpt to this. So you're going to get 2 frogs, 2 turtle communicators. Genghis also come with his kind of costume here, or disguise, I guess we could call it. So we'll take a look at how that looks on him a little bit later in the video, but you can see there it's just a hat. Everything is molded together. You can see that there. And you're just going to basically just slide this right over the top of his head sculpt. As far as hands are concerned, you can see here right out of package, they both come with just kind of standard holding hands. Genghis gets a pair of pointing hands here. He also gets a pair of fist hands as well. Now, moving over to Rasputin. Now, he seemed to get more accessories than Genghis did. So we'll start off here. He does get kind of a similar head sculpt to what Genghis comes with out of the packaging. He gets kind of the scared head sculpt as his secondary head sculpt, more of a smiling head sculpt straight out of package. These look really good. I really don't know which way I'm going to go as far as the display on the head sculpts. That'll have to do a little thinking on that. As I said before, they each get a small version of themselves. Now you can see that they each are colored based on their actual color. So his is a little bit darker. He also gets the turtle communicator. And just to show you real quick, here are the 2 small turtles. So you can see their color actually matches that of their, mutated counterpart there. So we get Rasputin's weapons, and really what he's going to get here is his bow and arrows. You can see here we got 3 pretty much regular arrows. You can see they're feathered here on the ends of all 4. And then one, has more, I guess, of like an exploding tip on it. And then you've got just kind of your standard tips. Now he also gets his quiver here, which you will be able to put on him kind of across him. And these will just slide down into the quiver like so. So it'll look really good. They're just hanging out on his back. Now this stuff we've got to be very careful with. Casey Jones kind of had something similar, not identical, but something similar. And trying to get it on, I actually popped, the strap off of, the bag that went on his back. So I have to be real careful with this one. It's a very easy fix. You can just super glue it back on, but hopefully we won't have that problem here. I did miss Genghis' weapon earlier. Here is his weapon. It is his axe. Now, one really odd thing. Look here up in the corner of my axe. Now, I have no clue how that happened. That's the way it was out of packaging. So it looks like it was cut maybe in some fashion. Not something I did opening it. There was really nothing around it to cut it like that. But, a little bit of QC issue there as far as straight out of packaging. I may reach out to Neca customer service and see if this may be something they could help me with as far as getting a replacement for it. But it looks really good. The handle's painted here, got kind of gray up the handle, and then a little bit more of a white with some black accent coloring. Does have a little bit of damage to it there. It looks really good. I really like this weapon. And then back to Rasputin, we do have his bow here, and then obviously the arrows that would go with it. So it does have an actual string here connecting the bow, and he would be able to hold this in one of his holding hands pretty easy. I would assume we'll take a look at that a little bit later. All right, next accessory here we have like basically a trap is what this is. It kind of reminds me of maybe like a bear trap or something that you could use this for. So if you could put a foot in, display it kind of like that, like it's trapped somebody. I don't know. You probably could manipulate this in different ways. It's almost something too. If somebody had a long enough neck, you could, put it around their neck and head come out here. I don't know that you could use this for multiple things. But anyways, I think it's intended to be kind of like a bear trap, a trap for the foot, a mutant trap, something like that. So nice little accessory there. Then Rasputin comes with additional hands as well. He's got a pair of hands here holding the peace sign. And then he's got two kind of semi-holding hands. So I guess this would be hands more to like use with the bow and arrow. If he was to be pulling an arrow back, pulling on the string with an arrow on it. I guess that's what these would be for. So, whereas Genghis got the, fist hands, he's going to get kind of these semi-holding hands here. So that is it for accessories for these guys. Let's take a close-up look at each one of them here. We will start off with Rasputin. You can see here that face that I was talking about. He's just smiling in this one. So it is basically identical to just the smiling head here that Genghis has. Just, basically a repaint. That's what these frogs are. We're going to get 4 different repaints, I believe, of these frogs. But moving on down here, got his necklace. This necklace is sculpted into his body there. So you're not able to move or manipulate that in any way. The shirt here that he has on is a soft plastic. Looks really good though. It's painted very well. Kind of in the typical fashion with our cartoon figures. You can see how we kind of have that transition from a lighter to a darker color on the back, just to give it a little bit more of that cartoony look. The turtles have the same thing. Pretty much every figure in this line, they've done something kind of similar all the way down the legs there. He's got the red shorts on, and those polka dots all over. It just looks good. Got some wrist accessories here, bracelets that he has on. Let's take a look at Genghis. Again, it's going to be the same thing. You can see the necklace is sculpted the exact same kind of soft plastic shirt. Even the bracelets on the wrist are identical. The shorts are identical, painted a different color. It is literally just a total repaint, which I'm okay with. They all pretty much look the same. They just had their kind of on their own different colors. And then for the face sculpt, you can see here he kind of has that scared face, which we got as an extra accessory here with Rasputin. That is our frogs in a close-up. Now, we do want to take a look at articulation. We want to take a look at one because they're going to be identical. As we said, the sculpts are the same. As far as the heads, there's not much movement in this head. As you can imagine, it's a really massive neck and head, so there's just not going to be much room to move. We can get it all the way around in a 360, but just no up or down. Not really much confused look either. As far as those shoulders, we can get them up to there. There is a bicep swivel in there. You can see that is moving and the shirt is not. So there is a bicep swivel right there at, really, I guess, where the shirt and the arm meet. That is a swivel point. So that's good. We're going to get a single jointed elbow that is extremely tight. We're not going to force that one. We'll try this one. I've done that before. If you're familiar with the channel, I have broken Neca arms off trying to force them during the articulation portion. We don't want to do that. This one's a little nicer here out of package. So you can see we get a 90-degree elbow on that. And then the wrist articulation right here is your standard wrist articulation. Spin it 360s, no problem. We do have a nice ab crunch here. It is under the shirt. So you can see that all the way around. So we get a nice crunch and forward and back. So that's really nice. We do have a swivel there at the bottom of the abdominal area, but no crunch there. It's just going to be your swivel, which is fine. Get those frog's legs out to there. You can slightly articulate that at the upper thigh, and then kind of the same thing here with the bicep joint. We do have a swivel right at the base of those shorts. So that's well done. It really cleans up the seam, really, because you can't see the articulation point. Plenty of articulation in that double jointed knee. And then down here, all kinds of ankle rocker, forward, back. You know, Neca does good on the ankles for sure. So everything on this guy was pretty nice out of package from an articulation standpoint outside of this one elbow here. We'll heat that up slightly and it won't be any issue at all. Let me go ahead and do a few swap outs. We'll put some weapons in their hands and we'll take a look at kind of some of the options we have as how we want these guys to look. All right, guys, so here we go with just a couple swap outs, some accessories. You can see here we have Rasputin's got his peace sign here, Genghis using his pointer finger. We do have the quiver here on his back, so you're going to have to take off his head in order to put that on, but it goes on very easy. It actually goes on better than Casey Jones did. Casey Jones was very tight even once you took the head off. His head come off and this just slid on with no problem at all. We got the axe here in his hand. He does have his disguise on. Now, the disguise is not locked into place, so you can see it can fall off very easy there. So, you know, it's going to be fine if it's sitting on a shelf, but it basically just sits right over the top of his head, and his eyes and top of his head kind of hold it into place there with that hat. But it really looks excellent. I really like the way the disguise looks. Being that there's 4 of these guys, there's almost a part of me that wants to display it with the disguise on it, just because that is kind of an iconic look. That is something that was used in the cartoon. And then I kind of put the smaller versions of themselves here just for you guys to kind of see from a size comparison standpoint. I'm going to go ahead and bring in a couple other figures from the Neca cartoon line just so we can see how these guys actually stack up with some of their other mutant counterparts. All right, guys, so here we go. We've got Leatherhead, who you have to have here from a size comparison for the frogs, because obviously I believe the first time that we met the frogs, I believe it was in a Leatherhead cartoon. So we've got Leatherhead, we've got Raphael from the cartoon line as well. So just to kind of give a little measurement on these guys here to the tops of their head, we're right at about 5.5 inches, which is right about the same as the turtles, whereas we're right about 7 inches there to the top of our Leatherhead figure. So there you go. That's a little size comparison so you kind of know where these guys stack up. Pretty much same size as the turtles. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit that like button. It helps get this video out there for other people to be able to see. If you're not a subscriber to the channel, consider subscribing. Would love to have you as part of the ManCave Collectibles team. And then lastly, drop those comments down below. Let me know what you think of this 2-pack. Will you be picking these up? Have you tried to find these yet? If so, what kind of luck are you having? I know there's always a discussion out there with Neca and their cartoon line and the ability for us to be able to find them. I've had some frustrating moments myself. It does always seem to be, if you look hard enough, they can be found. But let me know your experiences down below. I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Until next time.
don't